in, we can say, hey, we got these available. Well, thank you. So I anything we can do to kind of stimulate, I just think we just need to keep that in the awareness. We anticipated things, because the year's always been slow, and we anticipated that. So.
Yeah, but I think sometimes people drive out there and see that, and they don't realize there's still lots for sale. Like you said, we know that, and if we can't get on that sign very big, we gotta do separate sign. Yeah. I mean, something so that people driving past know they can buy a lot there and how cheap they are.
So the day I was up, like I said, I was on there on a Sunday, and there was a hillside that he didn't want to know, so I was no big deal. But it amazes me every time I'm in there doing stuff, how many cars drive through there.
Lots of people.
People are snooping.
They're snooping, and some of them will stop at these houses, and you know they'll kind of sort of ease in if the doors are open.
Good.
So they're looking.
But I think if they don't know, they just assume that's a developer and all those lots are taken, not that they could build a house.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
And the pricing is so right. I mean, I was talking to my nephew. He's down in Houston, okay. And we were talking about this, and I told him what we were doing. He's like, there wouldn't be a lot there in like 5 minutes. I mean, we're just like done, built, move on.
We did just recently sell one, right?
Huh?
We did just recently sell a lot live.
No.
That just recently?
No.
Oh, that was already.
Yeah, like slot 10. If you're talking, where they putting the house now?
No, I know someone who's moving back.
Do we sell a lot of that, Bill?
Yeah,
Not yet.
got someone interested in it.
Okay.
I'll get sold.
So we just need to keep that, and any help that you can give us is wonderful. And I'm assuming that Hoosier Heights, they're going to probably want to start marketing too. I'm assuming. I don't know. I drove by and I noticed they moved some dirt. I don't know how close they're getting, but I didn't think they had a lot of dirt work to do per se. They just got to get all the stuff in.
They talked about like the rough roads too.
Yeah. So, we're moving this thing forward. We're finally moving the county into that direction now. So we'll just continue that, and between you and I, we'll check with Zach to see what he thinks will work for signage.
Do we have a site profile for the amenities at that site anywhere? Like that, but not just the utilities, like close to the hospital, close to schools, the shopping district is 2 miles away, or something along those lines,
I
just
don't
to.
know.
We can have drone shots. We can put something together with like the bullet points on one side.
That would be great, because otherwise it's just a plot of ground somewhere. And you're not familiar with the area, and you don't know how close you
Visiting
are.
contact.
Yes.
Would there be a consideration for the Forest Canyon sign to be a little bit bigger?
That's right. You see what I saw. I think
Yeah, I think we can. We actually talked about a permanent sign. We kind of thrown that around and just never really landed anywhere. Yeah, we could do that.
Well, that one sign you're talking about, John, you want it when you first drive in.
I think we need to have decent signage off of 37. Off 37, because that's what people are going to see first.
signage is not very bold.
Yeah, we need to have. Yeah, I think
It's not, you can't really see it.
so. I think there, and then wouldn't have a problem having more. As you drive in, if people want to see it. I mean, literally, we could put it on when you literally drive in. Where the road used to be, we could put it there if we really wanted to. You want Bill and I will just kind of explore through that. If that's okay. Is that all right? Is that fair, Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Better write that down, Bill. All right, I found the tip. We're gonna regress because I found the balances. Courthouse, 281, 650, 452. Wapaka, 358, 214, 81. Webb Wheel is 328, 236, 34. Riverview West is $44,280.60. So I think we're similar. we'll get more tax revenue coming in after they pay taxes again, so. No, we won't. We won't because we don't have any active TIFs in there anymore, so we won't get any more money. Yeah, so we're done. We're except for Wapakas, because that'll have to, money will go in, money goes out. Okay, probably, the big reason for the meeting today is there is a requirement, I guess it's state statute now, that redevelopment commissions have to have a budget for their funds. Okay. So we have to get that done before December the 1st, less than a month, and then Chris will download that into Gateway for us. Okay. So I sent everybody the kind of a template. This is what Jason sent me. His comment was to be very generic, don't be very specific. So when I went through this, and I'll just tell you what I saw, there's really 3 categories that fit us, well, 4 categories that fit us. Well, it's really 5 because bond proceeds you put in 1. Debt service, which would be on the pocket tails. And I think if I can get those numbers from Jason, we can fill those lines in. Because he's got all that information on debt service. Professional expense, which would be partially what we have to pay attorneys and Baker Tilly, I think is our 2 biggest professional expenses. So Baker Tilly last year, our bill for them was $7,800. Then the other one is, and I put this under other anticipated expenses because we have some signage to pay for. You know, the things that we have to do at Forest Canton yet. Eventually, we have the last layer of asphalt that's got to go on. We'll have to pay for that if we can't get the county to do it. And I'm assuming we won't, so we're just going to assume we're going to pay for it. And we have mowing, which will have to happen again starting in 2025. And some signage and any other incidents that we'll have to have as additional expense for Forest Canton. Other than that, I think everything else will fall under capital expenditures, I guess. We could do grants and contributions because I know, Tony, you brought up something about the school. And I think if we would decide it's something, we don't have to do it, we just have to have it on our budget. Because if it's not on our budget, we can't do it. If it's on our budget, doesn't mean we will do it. Is that fair? Because next year, you know what, we get to do this all over again.
But we got something to go on.
That's correct. That's correct.
So you're going to try to base this on the prior year kind of?
Well, it's all I got.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all we have.
I
mean, you know, David, the only thing we pay out now, after we got Forest Canton done, is mowing and professional stuff.
What about your salary?
And my salary. which I'll have it eaten up 6 months. Just kidding.
Did you want a 10% raise?
Yeah.
I don't know of any immediate needs, but for Industrial Park South, the lot number 3, I mean, you could do other things to potentially get it more ready.
And my question, Jason's never answered this question because I think that fits into that. This capital expenditures, if we just blank that as capital expenditure, will that cover our budget? So if we decide capital expenditures are, we'll say another subdivision or a company comes in and we need to help them do something. He hasn't gotten back to me on that question. If we can just lump that as capital expenditures.
We can't do that at school.
But I think we can on this.
They won't allow
I think we can on this though, the way he talked initially. So I'm trying to find that out.
You know, your original list showed several categories. And again, you said, if we don't spend it, it's okay.
It's okay.
But we have, I mean,
And we can
look at a budget like that, you go, really?
I think,
But you gotta cover your
I
bases.
think we can also make amendments to it.
Well, that changes everything.
I think we can, from what Jason was telling me, I think we can make amendments, if something comes up. But what he told us not to do, if I recall, is not to put a specific X project. Here it is, this is the project. because you're tied to it and then you gotta go through the process. So I will get more clarity, but my guess is a lot of this is gonna show up under.
This last paragraph you have here,
Huh?
this last paragraph, you talked about it in it.
Yeah.
Is that from Jason, or is that you?
That's from Jason. Oh,
Okay.
this is all Jason's.
Well, then you can amend it.
Yeah. So I think being generic is a good move.
Right.
But if it's okay with you all, I'll get the debt service numbers from you. My estimated number for anticipated expenses, I'm telling you, I just threw this one at it, it's 20,000 for Forest Camp at this point, because we're not gonna blacktop, I don't think, in 2025. Professional expenses, I put 15,000. That's probably way too high. That's about twice what we had to spend for Jason. If something comes up, at least we got it. We don't have to spend it. And then Tony brought this up, so Tony, if you want to speak to what we've done on the school, if you want to add something, it's up to you all. I mean,
No, we didn't do that, unfortunately, on a representative school, that's why I'm here. In lieu of, hot funds in Troy Township, the redevelopment commission has always set aside money for specific uses of the school. Mainly security upgrades, and, you know, none of us can say enough about that right now. It's the world we live in. We have in the past $120,000 a year. Not saying it's the representative school, I'm asking for that. Because we have limited income on any other expenses, we know what will occur this year. I would like to know, could we have some projects already picked out. We haven't figured out what's on fund them yet. If the school would come in and introduce that to the redevelopment, would they consider continuing that funding as long as, I know we don't have any money coming in. We do have some funds here, but it's limited now. We don't have excess tip flowing interest, so I'm just throwing it out there. That's a board decision. Whatever you do.
Well, if we think it's even a possibility, we probably need budget. That's fair.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm okay just throwing that number at it.
I don't think that anything that the board is considering now is that much money, but there are some things that are changing for security.
Yes. And so what I think is harder to do is down the road, the amendment, I think.
It's up to you, I'm just making a point, when I saw that, I go, ooh, we haven't done that for a year and a half.
No, we need to.
So then on capital expenditures, if he can just let us, if he tells us we can just lump it, we're just doing it, right?
I think so.
I would agree with that, if we can lump it. I mean, I feel like some of those categories do not apply to us.
No.
Very clearly, they do not apply to us. But beyond that, I'm afraid if we get too specific, we're gonna put it here, and I don't wanna get back in the corner. But I guess it's ultimately based on what his feedback is.
So if it's okay with you all, we'll kind of work with that, and then I'll fill in whatever Jason gives me on the debt service, and then he'll lump the rest of it out, and I'll have it all available at the next meeting.
So like a plan.
Thank
Which
you.
may be after the 1st of December, so we'll actually get it in, and then.
Okay.
That's okay.
Thank you.
I guess I can do that. That wasn't so hard.
Under, I assume this would probably be under
No,
capital
no.
expenditures.
One thing on the signs, we did have prior improvement with the board on the lot signs and the acknowledge.
Yes.
The only thing that would be different would be the big sign you would want to, we haven't.
Yeah, and let's see if we can get a price on it, and then.
The entrance road to HETC. I think that is something that the commissioners have talked about you guys being responsible for, and I think it's okay right now, but I do know there was some snow.
So we did approve the striping.
Okay.
The last meeting, yes.
That's good.
So the commissioners asked us to pay, I think it was $1,000, if I remember, it was $1,000 to restripe the road.
That, what packets?
That was
The pockets, yeah.
This is HTC.
Oh,
That's the one you're talking about, HTC, yeah.
So I've not heard anything on ATVs.
Well, I
So-
don't know how the striping is, and we may want to check that, but like we have paid for the snow removal this year, and we will be passing that.
Has this county taken that road?
I don't think so.
Do we own that road? So we need to put on the agenda for the next time to contact the county to assume the ownership of that road. We don't need to own it. It's the county
We don't
road.
have the money to maintain it.
Huh? No,
That's.
it's not our road.
Water and bridge a long time ago. We saw that coming.
Well, and I think what's happened on a lot of this is never happened.
The county doesn't.
We paid for it in the past, but we're not gonna be able to do that.
Okay,
And Riverview is the same?
Wapaka is and Webb are covering snow removal
but I
now.
think the county's agreed that's a county road now, which is why the county wants to stripe it. So I think we may have gotten someplace on that one, from what I understand.
Well, I think that the county took it's called Steel Road now, right? Because of the work that was done on Switzer. And I think that was like it had to be a county road. But I mean, that doesn't mean that they can't take that one.
I think they have agreed to that. I remember that. Which is why we're striping. Whenever they get the machine out there and stripe it, what I understand. I don't know the answer when that's gonna happen. So I'll find out, I'll do some checking on the ATVC road. Okay.
Karen, can you maybe, since you guys covered that, can you get us a ballpark of what it was on average past couple of years?
Yep.
We'll fix that one. Follow up on some of the planning that we've been doing. I sent out kind of a synopsis of what I was kind of hearing and seeing. I think everybody got a copy of that. I'm hoping maybe it makes sense to make that kind of the start of our template and just keep working off of it. Does that look okay? I mean, input's a wonderful thing, but I would like to actually have something like this that eventually we can actually present to the commissioners and the council and say, here, this is what the redevelopment commission sees, and this is the help that we're gonna need going forward. And then they have to they're gonna have to guide and direct us some too, because that's not really what we do, if you will. So you guys just want to kind of keep looking at that, make some adjustments, some changes. If you want to send them back to me, I'll inject them into the whole process, and then eventually we'll come up with a plan. I'm hoping we can get a big chunk, they said this before the end of the year, because we're all up for renewal, if you will. So,
I am this year. I am.
Yeah. I think everybody is then. So it depends on what happens there, but at least we have a start for if we're not here, somebody can take it. Is that fair? So if you've read it, if you haven't read it, that's fine, but if you do read it, I'd appreciate it if you just give me your info.
Okay.
The last thing I have is we're all up for reappointment. If you're interested, make sure you get your letters to the auditor's office, right? At the auditor's office, David?
I'd send it to you. Well, it depends on who's making your appointment.
Either send it to commissioners of the council.
Also, and then the auditor, so.
Okay. So if you're up to that, then, and I guess I would say I would encourage each of us too. I think the commission has worked really well. I think we were getting some things going. And I would like to continue that for the county's sake. So, I'm assuming you came to have, you have a question or discussion.
First thing, we are selling houses out there at the Forest Canton. We do have one in the middle that's sold and closed. The Tunks came in from Jasper area and they bought that one. And then we have 2 more specs that have went up, and we're hoping to sell both of those here soon.
Are they finished?
The
Oh.
one is almost finished, which is the Willow. We've named them all tree names to go along with your Forest Canton. So the one that just sold is the Pine House, okay, in the middle.
Okay.
And then that's on lot 6. And then on lot 7 is the Willow. And then the Magnolia is the last one that we're trying to get finished up. We have people that we've been taking back there. There are tons of people driving around back there. I have my signs there. They're calling us, okay? The problem, a lot of our problem right now is the interest rates, okay?
The what?
The interest rates. And I think they're gonna go down, and I think it's gonna start picking up as far as that goes. We need more builders involved. They won't.
I'm with you.
They won't do it. I don't know why. But they just,
A lot of it is the size of the lots.
yeah, the size of the lots are troublesome, okay? We're having trouble fitting what people want on that size of a lot, okay? I don't know how to fix it except build smaller homes. Jago did the other day finally put out a under 300 house that is enough square footage where it'll fit fine on one of those lots. We can build them like that too. We have 2 more people moving in from Texas right now. One came in, one wants lot 9. That is another issue we have. Apparently got traded with somebody and Arnold ended up with it. The question I have is Arnold gonna build right away on it, on lot 9?
My understanding is yes, but I'm still trying to get in touch with him.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you were gonna ask him.
Yeah, but I was out last week, so
Okay,
haven't had a chance to
Okay.
look for him.
here's my other issue. I need, and I don't know who we talked to, but I need the lot numbers I need the numbers put on the lots
We're
again.
working on that.
Oh,
A lot of
okay.
those signs out
Okay.
there, they used to be on the sticks.
Yeah.
And I think that all came off too with the
Yeah.
weather.
They got brittle.
Huh?
They got
Yeah,
brittle.
They got brittle.
do.
We actually just talked about that.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
so, yeah, so we're actually,
I need,
hopefully we'll get those picked up here soon. and
On that
we'll have
board
them.
out there, I've been trying to keep that, but I'm gonna have to find something
it's
that's
great. What you
waterproof.
got, here's my point. What you guys have out there is really good. And it's working, and they're coming to us, and they're asking us about these houses.
I've got a lot of.
Yeah,
The 2 houses.
they're
that are
driving
ready to
around
sell.
out there, we're seeing people, we're seeing the traffic. It's just getting people to jump on it, you
Right.
know? The problem is lot size, a lot of it's lot size. Because they can go over to JK's, Hoosier Heights, and they can get a half acre or more. You know, an acre, half acre, and so that's something we're gonna have to battle. Now, the plus thing about Matt is these are ICF homes, and they're built really well, and a lot of people like that idea of being in a concrete house, and the noise factor because of 37, so that helps.
Which really
you know.
isn't too bad when they're out there.
No, it's not, and you go in one of his houses, and you hardly, yeah.
They're
you-
soundproof.
Soundproof, yeah.
We've got people that are wanting to go through the houses now that we aren't letting them go through the house just because we're not far enough along.
Not bad.
I've had to keep going with my other business at the same time. I ran into a little trouble with my carpenters. I've got a different carpenter now, so we're moving along a lot better.
And for all of us, it's a little bit of a trial. I mean, we
Yeah.
didn't know what we didn't know, right?
Right.
I do kind of have an issue with lot 9. Everybody that came to the first meeting wanted lot 9. Everybody did. Everybody that was here that bought a lot that was the premier. Now that it just got traded off and handed off, I kind of feel like it should have been brought back up for other people to get a chance at it. I would have personally given more money for that lot.
And see, we're not gonna go down that road.
Yeah.
either.
I know,
We're not gonna go
we're
down
not
that
the
road.
more money thing, no.
But it just got pawned off without anyone knowing, and
Well,
I
the
guess
problem
it is what
is
it
we
is.
have a client from Texas wanting to move into Perry County, and they want lot 9. They're gonna settle for lot 11, I'll just tell you that, but their heart is on lot 9. And a lot lot 11 is gonna be a little, we're stretching it on the size house they want, for the frontage of it. And it's
I understand.
actually the Pine House on lot 11
Yeah.
right now, which is gonna be a pretty big.
I understand why Arnold's wanted to get that lot instead of the lot they had.
Yeah.
The problem with their lot that they had is it's configured in an area where my house is, the house that I'm finishing is gonna block the view of that house.
It's thin in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lot 8.
Yeah.
Right, correct,
well,
yes.
It's big in the back, but it's thin in the front.
Yeah. And that's another thing I was gonna say. And I think I've said it to a few of you. I feel like those two lots should, or maybe give somebody on each side the chance to buy it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I just don't know if we're ready to go down that road yet.
Well, I wish we were, but here, before anybody builds on it, you guys need to look at it, is all I'm asking. Just to go out there and go,
To
let me
build a house on
picture
it,
this. You know what I'm saying?
the house
I
is
just
gonna
want you
have
to
to
look
be
at it.
sitting in an angle,
Yeah.
not to anything of the.
That's the bad part about it.
Well, we're probably asking the guys that would be probably a question for the engineer.
That's true. I don't know
Yeah.
who did that for you, or who was it, Rusty?
I thought it was Kenny.
Yeah, it's Kenny, he's a civil engineer,
Oh,
so it would be a question for a civil engineer, you know.
yeah.
I think as a group, and I can say this fairly, we were looking to have a decent sized lot, because before we started this, people go, nobody wants to mow, nobody wants to tell a meeting, nobody wants a garden.
Uh-huh.
So, now it's going, as John said, we're learning.
Yeah.
Now we're going, hey, well, maybe we would like to have had a little more room to do
Yeah.
this and do that. So,
Yeah.
I don't know what.
But that's what the design actually came through on.
Yeah. That's the only one I saw that had a problem.
I didn't know.
It's,
Well,
Was there another one?
the one that Four Windows had, I think they got rid of it.
4.
yes, no, he still has it.
Does he?
He still has it.
When you look at that lot on the map, it really looks big. But when you get out there and get on it, it's really small.
Yeah,
Really?
I think he'd actually laid out, if I'm not mistaken, he's laid out what he was wanting to build.
Oh.
I mean, the
Yeah.
sticks.
I hadn't talked to
That's
him.
why it's not been mowed, because there were sticks in there.
Oh, okay.
And we weren't gonna mow around the sticks.
I know he had planned to build on, he wants to build a spec home. I want him to build one because we sell his too.
Well, I
So,
want all.
I want Jago to come in and build one.
The
I'm
people
with you.
from like Texas, do they have, how did they find here?
Oh.
The one's daughter moved here and they're gonna follow their grandkids.
That's one of them. Then the other one is, they have family here. He has roots here, and he has cancer, huh?
There is from St. Croix area.
Yeah, what, I can't even, yeah, they are. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, good people. And they were recommended to us, to come to us, and I immediately took them out there.
I was thinking we'd have more interest in younger home owners. And I know that was the goal, was to build homes for younger people to get here and work.
Yeah.
But all of the people that are interested in the homes that we're building so far are older and want to downsize.
This is the other side of that theory, that was people had bigger homes in town, wanted smaller homes, and they would build that, and then we would.
Open up another
we would
one,
open it
yeah.
up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's that movement of the people, if you will.
Yeah.
But we have to have someplace to go.
Like recommendation, if you try to do this out in the county, which I'd love to see, okay, sometime. But if you ever try to do it out in the county, maybe make the lots bigger out there, because that's gonna be our younger buyers, our more energetic buyers, that kind of thing. But I don't know if you're planning that or what have you. There's some great sites out there.
I think it's a great program.
I
I'm
love it.
That's one of the
Glad
things
that you
the
guys
commissioners
did that.
talked to us about.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that they wanted. Infrastructure is gonna be some issues there. We
Yeah,
know this. And that's, as we're planning, we're trying to create a plan, a big plan for the county from a positive growth standpoint. Those are the things that we're trying to work through in the plan that we're gonna give to commissioners in the county council.
okay,
Yeah,
all right.
but there's gonna have to be some steps before we get to that step. The nice part about this one, it was all there.
Yeah.
And the hospital was willing to work with us in terms of how we pay for the property.
My son has 40 acres and he would probably abandon, and he would probably do the same kind of thing. If somebody could, if I could go out there and look at it and see if it would be laid out,
And the problem, and the challenge is infrastructure.
Yeah, it's infrastructure. Yeah.
And then there's sewer there,
Yeah,
Is there?
right close, yeah, it's going to Branchville.
yeah.
So, you know, one of the things that the state changed not several, but a few years ago is you can actually do the TIF on housing.
It's tough though.
It's not-
I'm telling you, it's tough.
I
But
wonder
if
now.
you knew
if
that the
DOT
problem is
couldn't
the
have
demand
someone
is,
do
the
housing.
demand's not there.
Yeah, then you don't want to do it. The demand's gonna come back because the interest rates are gonna go down because Trump got in last night. No, I'm just kidding, but you know what I
It's
mean.
hard to
It's
fund,
just,
you know, the general, the guys, the French rates turn off, you know, we really
Yeah.
wanna help them guys. We got no way to raise that kind of money to help them because they need a couple million
And I think they
dollars.
kind of walked away now, right?
Signs are gone.
Yeah.
I saw that the other day. I got,
So-
you know,
so
I don't know what to do to help them because we're
Who is it?
not a
Who was
revenue
it?
generator.
who was it?
Nice guy.
I've got it
I know
somewhere in
his
my.
name.
So,
I-
so if you go back to the original concept of Forest Canton was this, we had no builders wanting to create a subdivision. Because it's expensive.
Yeah,
And there's a lot, you gotta lay out, you figure you're gonna lay out $1 million. Okay?
right, yeah.
And then you wanna get that money back. And the problem was, it was taking so long to sell the lots to get your initial money back that you really couldn't make it financially work. That was the concept. So what we decided to do, this commission decided to do is like, look, okay, we found the money because of COVID, all this money was sitting out there through all these programs. So we thought, well, it's gonna be our opportunity to have them available.
I love it.
We'll assume all of that financial risk, but we don't have any risk because we found money to do it. So we have no loans, we have no debt on it,
Right,
except for what we still owe the hospital. And we pay that as we sell lots.
yes.
So they get, in essence, they get $10,000 for each lot that we sell. This commission retains almost nothing when you figure it all out. Because of tap-ins, and I'm assuming if you have the tap-in fees, you're supposed to let us know that. We square that away up to $3,000. So,
I've got mine. I'd gladly give it to you.
well, up to $3,000 is what we pay.
Yeah.
So we just need to know what you've done.
Did you know that?
John
See
told me,
you.
he told me whenever
Yeah.
I just wasn't in a hurry for it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So instead of being a $15,000 lot, it's now a $12,000 lot
Right.
in reality. And we're retaining in essence nothing.
Yeah, but this allows the builders, and the builders need to understand this, all of them don't, but it allows them to sell their houses cheaper, to allow us to let people afford them that couldn't normally afford them.
And reduce their risk.
Yeah, and reduce the
And reduce
risk,
the
yeah, and I love it, absolutely love it. I want more builders
I
on
mean,
board.
ideally, what happens is somebody comes to you and says, we want to build a house, and you build it for them, and they're paying for it as you're building it.
We've got a lot more interest
So,
now, and
We do.
More
I
houses,
think
you see like Johnson, I live right there by it, the more houses go up, the more people I see going,
Oh, they're,
making that turn. So
I think we're getting
it's
there.
all about interest
We're
rate.
getting there.
it is, that's what
And
it is.
I'll actually bring that up with Kenny on Lot 8 and see what his thought process is, and we'll just keep discussing it. And please just bring anything you got, bring it to us. We're gonna listen.
Okay.
You know, we may or may not give you the answer you want, but we're gonna listen.
Yeah.
So,
And I like to call all of you and get you to listen to me.
But
No.
availability, Bill is really the one that's been keeping track of
Yeah.
availability. So we're trying to keep that in one hand.
He's getting better at getting it, being able to get hold of it.
So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
With that, anything else? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Aaron, that
I was just gonna share that since your last meeting, I have submitted the Industrial Park South site to 2 site searches. And
Okay.
submitting it doesn't mean that there's going, to, anything will happen, but you have to submit to.
And I guess another follow-up to the APP site, next to APP, that's south. Okay, to that one, we had a gentleman interested, I have not heard anything back. A part of that, and the last response I got back, actually Brett Luttring was working with this gentleman, was he was trying to get a contract with ATTC. I don't know if he did or if he didn't, obviously he didn't, otherwise I think he would have called. So until I hear more, as far as I know, we had nothing going on there.
This is that small area.
Yeah, it's like they're
On
corner.
the,
They're still gonna use the corner of that 30 acres for the laydown yard when they do the utility thing, but that's just temporary. So-
where,
So if you see any activity going on out there, that's probably what it is. They put some gravel in, and I got a phone call. It's like, what are they doing over there? It's like, well, that's the laydown yard for the, I didn't think they're putting that new line in, electrical line in. So.
yes, they're adding some redundancy.
So, all right. We got a motion, I'm assuming. Somebody,
I'll motion.
Carol's ready to go home.
Deal.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you. Look at that, that's the bill.